Okay, and we are back live for our final guests of the day on our sideline sit down. We're joined by the four seniors from Zapata, the Lady Hawk softball team: Cassandra Pena, Selene Garza, Kaelynn Gonzalez, and Kristyn Ramirez. The four seniors from the Lady Hawk softball program. Girls, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having
us.
Yeah. Definitely. So this is our last group of the day. We're gonna have that virtual signing at 6, followed by our special show later this evening with Coach Cipriano, discussing whether the school is gonna renew his contract. But that'll be later this evening. For right now, we're gonna talk some more softball. Guys, what have you guys been up to out there in Zapata? What have you been up to these days?
I guess there's like not really much to do here. And then with the lockdown, it's kind of difficult. So I think just like staying home and then picking up like new hobbies around the house and all that kind of stuff, because there's not really much to do, like I mentioned before. But that's pretty much it.
Selene?
Yeah, I've been just with my family, and we've been going to the ranch and fishing. But that's really all we've been doing because we can't really do much.
Yeah, like Chris said, there's nothing to do here since it's pretty small. Even though we can't go out, like there's never anything to do. So it's just pretty much family time and baking and games. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I pretty much just been painting a lot just to keep me busy. There's not really much to do. Like the girl said, I started baking more. Just.
What do you guys bake?
Brownies.
Brownies is like next to cookies. Oh, it's super good.
My favorite are brownies, so that's usually what I make. Brownies are like cupcakes.
So we were talking about shows earlier. What shows are you guys currently binge watching? Whether that's Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus.
All American for sure.
All American is a for sure.
Oh my gosh, I already finished All American, so like.
I think all of us have.
I know, right now I'm just watching Criminal Minds because I got like hooked on that in the beginning of the year, and then ever since then I've just been watching it.
You're talking about it.
And I got into comedy, so I've been watching a lot of comedy too. So
also The Last Dance, it's pretty good.
Last Dance. I'm like Kristyn. I finished All American a couple weeks ago, so. I liked it, Kristyn. Where are y'all at on All American?
I'm done.
Guys.
You're what?
I'm watching it though.
Guys.
Oh, well, there are no spoiler alerts, were there, for Cassandra or Kaelynn? Where are y'all at in the show? Are y'all in the season 1, season 2?
I already finished
it.
We
already finished it.
Oh, you already finished it.
Because I'd watch it whenever like it comes out on ABC or where does it come out? I don't know where it comes out.
I think it's EW.
Watch it on TV, like not on Netflix. So I already knew like when it came out on Netflix,
okay.
I watched it.
Okay, because I thought Selene gave a major spoiler. I was like, wait a minute, no spoilers.
Yeah,
because I've already seen it. Okay, so I thought the ending of season 2 could have ended a little better. Did you guys think that?
Yes.
Right, like because I kept hearing so much hype, like it got better and and it did, and the whole storyline with the dad, and then. When the storyline ends with the dad, the episodes kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah. Like, like slow. Like I don't know. Like after the dad, I just feel like it kind of slowly like went down. But
yeah, like they kept us on the cliff. Yeah, they kept us on the cliffhanger with Spencer's shoulder, and it's like, okay, I thought he was already better, and then oh no, he's not better, and I'm like, okay. And I'm waiting for him and Olivia to like be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
I think all of us are.
I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm like that's the couple I'm rooting for. And anything else you guys are watching?
I started watching Law and Order.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good show. It's really interesting, especially like if you're into like all that.
Yeah, I keep saying I watch Narcos, but I have yet to get around to it. I know there's a lot of people that are fans of Narcos and they highly recommend that one. But yeah, so talking about your schoolwork, obviously everyone got out for spring break. And then we started hearing about all this COVID-19 deal. And then you guys, at first, or at least here in the Valley, we knew that everyone was gonna have at least an extra week of spring break. And then more dominoes started to fall. And I know you guys were in the middle of your season. Y'all were already in district play. So just how have you guys managed y'all's schoolwork and also keeping in shape?
I mean, it's like a big transition from learning on not learning, but like having all your schoolwork online. So it's kind of like you're teaching yourself. So I think that's just like the biggest thing right now, like trying to teach yourself and like going through the motions and making sure that you do everything like correctly. But I mean, I think it's like important to make sure like to go outside on a walk, like just to stay like fresh. Cause like being inside all day and like doing all your work is just like overwhelming sometimes. So, I mean, going out for like a walk is always good to do, or like a bike ride and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's how like I'm staying in shape, like maintaining my schoolwork, but making sure I go out and get that fresh air that like I need.
Definitely.
Well, me, I'm more of a face-to-face learner, so I'm like kind of struggling. Like it came to the point where I had to like calculate what's 2 plus 2. Like it's gone bad, but like it's getting better. I'm getting better, I think. But overall, I'm getting used to it. But I can't wait to on campus and be face-to-face because that's what I'm better at.
Way easier.
Yeah.
Definitely. Selene?
Well, the same thing the girls have been saying. It's different doing things online, but I mean, we're getting through there, and I've also been helping my little sisters with their work because they also need help. So I do my work and plus help them. And yeah, lately I go for runs to the boat ramp, or I work out with my sisters and stuff like that. So I just keep active with them.
Kaelynn?
Well, lately, like from being active, I've been doing a lot of bike riding, which that is like so much fun for me. And like when it comes to school, like I don't really have that many classes like right now. So like I'm just doing like just that one class that I have that's like really important. I'm just doing the assignments for that class, which is really hard because it's easier when like the teacher's right in front of you rather than doing everything online on your own.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears and talk, about some softball. Again, obviously, with the season getting cut short. That last Friday before spring break, were you guys able to play a game, or how did that work out?
Yeah, we were
Vessel.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all came to Progresso, so y'all were able to play that game. You guys had quite the trip to come over. Was there any?
They played over here.
Oh, they played in Zapata. Okay, you can correct me. That's okay. It's because I just knew that you guys had played. So you guys were at home. Was there any uncertainty going into that game? Knowing that it could possibly be the last game for a while or anything like that.
No.
I actually was kind of like, since I was already like hurt, I wasn't gonna play. But like whenever I heard this, I told coach, I was like, coach, this might be the last game. Like, can I play? He was like, no, you can't. And I was like, please, coach. Like, I already know. Like, I have a feeling it might be the last game, but like, he said no because like that's his job. But like, it was just kind of tough.
Definitely.
Watching.
So for the rest of you guys, it was kind of just business as usual, and then just really just taking it as it came.
Well, I think it was the time of our county fair. So when I found out, because I think that Friday they put out that UIL was gonna like not play till I think the next week, or like we're gonna have a week off or something. Mm-hmm. So I was in the middle of showing my animal, and then when I got out, the assistant principal at our high school actually came up to me and he showed me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, well, we have a game today. So then I kind of had an idea, like maybe this is going to be our last game, but I try to maintain like a positive attitude, hoping that it wouldn't be, but it turned out like to be our last game. So that's kind of a bummer.
Mm-hmm. And so, when you guys, we had that hope, we had that optimism for a little while that, March 29th was that first magic date. But then we started seeing numbers start to grow. And then down here in the Valley, our first case was in Brownsville. And then, it started to just spread all over across the Valley. And, our numbers we're still growing throughout the month. And then, the next date was May 4th. That was the next magic date that we were hoping UIL could come up with something. And I had spent time talking with coaches around the Valley, and there was some optimism there, and they had a couple of ideas that UIL was going to present for softball in particular. Some of them were just going to go one round of district play, finish that first round and start the playoffs, or just start a district tournament and you determine your playoff teams from there. So they had a plan in place, but again, obviously with how everything unfolded, they had no choice but to cancel the season. And it's been about a week and a half since we found out that news. So just take us back when you guys found out that news, when and where you guys found out.
I was asleep and my mom came into my room and she had told me that the governor had shut down all the schools or whatever had happened. And I just thought, well, does that mean we're gonna still have our softball season, or does that cut off there? So I mean, when I found out about that, my mom just came into my room and woke me up because I was still asleep, and it was kind of surreal. I didn't believe it at first, and then eventually it all started hitting me at once. So
yeah, you're right, because I was sitting at the table and the first news we got was that school was going to be shut down indefinitely. Mm-hmm. So then my first reaction was okay, the next domino is UIL, because I didn't see one going on without the other. If school was going to be canceled, that definitely meant that the sports were going to be canceled as well. And maybe about 20 minutes after UIL made the announcement. How about the rest of you guys when you guys found out?
I was asleep as well.
I was actually watching the governor's live stream or whatever with my mom.
I was asleep and my mom texted me. That's how I woke up, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I was asleep and I woke up with a bunch of notifications of everything being canceled, a bunch of group messages going off, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. We're supposed to.
Did you guys have maybe a team meeting through Zoom or any kind of group chat like that to kind of just get y'all together and talk about it or anything like that?
Well, I don't think we talked about it. Our coach just informed us with everything that was happening. He was hoping everything would start to get better, but it didn't. He was just trying to keep a positive vibe.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys have been playing ball, like we mentioned earlier, since y'all were 12. I think, Kristyn, you said probably even younger than that. Mm-hmm. So really just to have it end the way it did, it was very, was very, it's dramatic, especially for a group like you guys to be so close. Let's talk about, you guys growing up and playing softball. Was there ever a time when you guys ever figured that, hey, one day we'll be at the varsity level playing together and all grown up?
I think all of us had that mentality as 8th graders because we've been playing for so long. And I think ultimately that was all of our, that was all one big goal that we had was to play all 4 years together alongside each other. So I think going into high school and going into our freshman year softball season, we really were hoping to be on varsity and be starters, and we all managed to accomplish that goal with being side by side with each other. So.
Selene?
Yeah, well, same thing Chris said. We've been playing together. We had a traveling team named the Giants, and even during the summer, we stay in overnight tournaments for sometimes 4 days. I think we had a tournament, and we've created a lot of memories. So for something like this just to end, because we've worked so hard for especially our last year, and for it just to end like this, it really hurts for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Cassandra?
Yeah, like what they said, excuse me. It was just heartbreaking, because I didn't really get to end the season how I wanted it to, and getting to play with these girls, it was a dream. And it was just like, I don't know, like it was just a good feeling being besides them and making all the memories. It was nice. It was good while it lasted.
Kaelynn? I think she may have frozen.
Yeah, it's kind of really heartbreaking,
There.
especially.
Go ahead, no, because you froze for a second.
It was really heartbreaking, especially since last year we made history and we were looking forward to this year, like especially since we know we had like a stronger team. Our team was like really, we were a really good team. We were super like close together and everything. We were just looking forward to it, but unfortunately.
Definitely. She's freezing up a little bit.
We wanted it to.
So you guys, you're freezing up just a little bit, but we got you back. So let's talk a little bit about Zapata. You know, it's in that gray area where it's between, you know, Laredo's here, Zapata's here, and then here's the valley. And you know, it's a small community. You know, like I mentioned, that one that I'm familiar with. Do you feel like over the years, you know, Zapata softball has kind of just gone floated under the radar? You know, like, you know, and just every now and again, you guys would remind people that, hey, we're still here and we're still a really good team.
I think our freshman year, after winning by district against Sinton, people started to realize the potential we had and how good we were as a team. And I mean, we just continued to build our legacy and like that new culture for Lady Hawk softball. We just made sure to always be building it up. So last year when we made history as being the first female team to ever have won an area championship, I think people began to realize that we're the real deal, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So it felt good, you know, if you were in the store and like if you were wearing your Lady Hawk softball shirt, they go up to you and tell you, well, I heard that you guys are so good and all this stuff, and just compliment you. So I guess it's like the little things. But the community really did notice that after, you know, just going far and making that history. But I think we have a strong support system here.
Cassandra?
Yeah, for being a small school, like they really underestimated us. And since we're like so far away from everyone, you know, they're probably like, oh, Zapata, Zapata. But we really proved ourselves. Everyone's talking, like whenever we made history, everyone was talking about us, you know. It felt good, like what Chris said, like people would like, we're wearing a shirt and they like say, oh, like y'all made history, like it feels good. And I think that's it, really like, it brought the attention to the valley and it's making them talk about us. So yeah.
Kaelynn?
This thing is cutting off.
She
But
must
yeah, just like the girls
she must be by the lake.
said, we were always like put as the underdogs. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay. But yes, like the girls said, we were always like the underdog against every team that we played. But we definitely like showed that Zapata can play. We can play against everybody. But yeah.
Selene?
Well, just like our freshman year, we were a very young team. Like we were basically all freshmen and starting in the infield, and a lot of people did doubt us, and like because we were a young team. But I mean, just winning that by district title, we were able to like prove everyone that we could do it. And through the years, we won the area championship, and we proved even more people. And it's just like sad because we weren't able to, you know, see what this year could have, like what we could have done this year, because I felt like we could have done way more with the team we had.
You know, talking about you guys' freshman year, the 2017 team, we'll talk about, you know, y'all's, it's become a rivalry over the years, Zapata, Rio Hondo, you know, at least in softball. You guys beat that 2017 team that did make it all the way to the region final. So was that win one of the wins that where you guys said, hey, if we can beat this team loaded with seniors and juniors, we definitely have something cooking?
Yeah, I think that was all of our mentality, because our freshman year, our first round of district, we were super rocky. Like, I mean, people didn't even know if we were going to make it into the playoffs and, you know, just doubting us. But then that second round, we went undefeated. So, and we beat Rio Hondo that second round. So I think after that win, it just like it was just felt good. So then we just used that energy and, you know, we took it into playoffs, beating Sinton. But I mean, that win will like stay with us, because that was like the turning point for us. That's when we really like boosted up and got hyped about it. And we took it into the playoffs and we ended up, you know, beating Sinton. So it was nice. It was fun. Felt good.
You guys talk a little bit about that rivalry that you guys created with Rio Hondo, because I know whenever you guys would come to Rio Hondo or they would go over there, you know, it was for district, because you guys, it was always 1 and 2, 2 and 1 throughout these past couple of years. So I'm just talking about that rivalry that you guys created with Rio Hondo.
Well, I would say like when we would travel over there and when they would travel over here, our fans would get really rowdy and their fans would get really rowdy as well. And I feel like when we would play them, we just had that extra little pressure on our shoulders, but just because it was kind of for that district title. But I mean, it like that, I guess that game was the most nervousing game in the district round to play, just because of who they were and like what they were capable of, but we knew that we had it in us as well. But it was good to see the little rivalry between us.
Sandra?
Yeah. Well, every time we'd play Rio Hondo, it was like we were playing for like the state title. Like that's how I felt. Like Sel said, there was like a bit of pressure, but like it felt good. Like it was a good game, since like our district's not that like I don't know, like we're the top 2 teams. Like we'd always look forward to playing Rio Hondo, like for the good competition to get ready for playoffs. So I'd always look forward to playing Rio Hondo.
Kaelynn?
Yeah, I remember talking to the girls, like always, like we were like, guys, like we have to like beat them, like especially since those freshman games that we remember throughout all the high school years, or like our 3 years that we got to play with them. We always like, we have to beat them, we have to beat them. It was always a really good competition, especially with that team. And yeah,
Definitely.
we just always look forward to playing with them.
Definitely, because I know, you know, they like, you know, always look forward to playing you guys. And then I know this year specifically was kind of like the farewell year, because of realignment. You guys are no longer going to be in their district next year. So you guys took them on this year, and that was really the last time you guys are going to play them, at least for the foreseeable future, because you guys won't be district opponents for the next 2 years at least. But, you know, let's talk a little bit about the Magic last year. You know, I was getting some videos in of you guys on just some home runs against Cuero, some game winners against Rockport Fulton, and these are big time softball games and big programs that you guys went up against. You know, let's start with you guys winning that first area title against Cuero, and just you guys just think about that series and what stood out to you guys.
I guess for me, it was being able to hit my 2 home runs in both the games. So it was like the first game we were down and my offense wasn't quite there. So when I went up to bat, no one was on base, and I was just thinking, put the ball in play. Like, we have to get this game under our belt. And when I go up to bat, I think about MLB players, like what they would do in their situation. So the first player that popped into my head was Josh Donaldson. So then I kept asking myself, I was like, what would Josh Donaldson do? So then I just went up, and then, well, I think it was actually the first pitch that I saw, and then I took a rip at it, and it ended up being a home run, and that kind of closed our gap to 6-4. And then after that, everyone just got in a rhythm, and we got a bunch of hits in line, and then that's how we came back and ended up beating them our first game. So that felt pretty good for me. But I mean, a bunch of things were just going through my head, but I just wanted to get the ball in play, and I got something bigger than that. So I was super thankful for that. Mhm.
You give it a bat flip?
No, I'm nervous to bat flip. I feel like
You should have though.
next at bat I'd strike out or something with my letter.
Sandra?
Yeah, I think Chris's home run really lit up everyone's bat. We were kind of a little rocky in the beginning of the innings, but once Chris hit that bomb, like I think it pumped everyone up, and that's whenever everyone started like hitting, and that's whenever it became like a good offensive game. Yeah, it was a good series.
Kaelynn?
Yeah. I think it just works like that most of the times, where one person just starts it off and then everybody's adrenaline like starts to kick in. It definitely did for me. I'm pretty sure it did for the whole team. That's how we ended up winning the whole ball game. Just a really good series that we played. Yeah.
Kaelynn?
Well, just how they said about Kristyn's hits, basically, home runs, like starting everything. And it also motivated myself because I was actually hurt at that time. So after we won the bi-district championship, when we came to practice that Monday, I actually sprained my ankle in practice, like really bad. And I didn't know if I was going to play that game or not, but we taped it up and we did everything we could. And I pitched like that, but I just pushed myself as hard as I could and like try to play for my team and for like everyone, for the Zapata people. And we were able to win the game. So that's all what really mattered.
I noticed, yeah, you're drinking out of a Dodger cup, Sandra. Is that
You
Cody
saw that?
Bellinger? Yeah. Okay. I was wondering if Cody Bellinger was on there or
No,
not.
it's Rio. I have a Cody Bellinger cup, but he just popped up.
Yeah. It can stay there.
Oh no, don't even show me that, please.
Yeah. Sorry, but not sorry. So, Selene, you just recently signed to play softball at in Laredo. What was your signing day like? And I mean, obviously, it was virtual through Zoom, right?
Yes.
It was different. So, just what was that like?
It was not what I like thought it was gonna be like, because my mom and I, we were talking about it a few months prior to all of this, and we were suggesting like doing it in the gym and or on our new field, and then whenever this came and I got my letter, I was like, okay, so how are you gonna do this? So my mom suggested that we do the Zoom because other players had been doing it as well, because she had seen it on Facebook. And well, we got my family together, my teammates, coaches, and we sent out the link to everyone, and everyone was able to join. And I signed my letter in front of them, and it wasn't the typical signing, but it was still great to see everyone there and to be there with me.
Were you able to do it in your house, or where was that at?
Yeah, I did it here at my house, and my family was here.
Were you guys able to join in through Zoom, or?
Yeah.
I actually wasn't. I didn't have internet since we were making like a little parade for South.
Yeah, after there was a parade.
To see, so I had to wait for like after the parade to watch it. But like once everything happened, they're like, go beep. I was like in the top like truck. I was like, yeah, Sal. I was like so happy for her. I don't know. It was a surreal moment to see her, like one of your best friends. I don't know, like just happy.
Yeah. So you had a parade too, like that must have been cool. But see, that's the perks of being in a small town, is like you get to have a parade. That's pretty cool. So guys, before we wrap up, Kaelynn, Kristyn, and Cassandra, what are y'all's college plans? Have you guys decided where you guys want to go or major in yet?
I'm actually gonna go where Sal committed. I'm gonna go to TAMU, but I was debating with Kingsville or TAMU, but I'm just gonna go to Laredo so I can stay with my sister and just like be with her. So yeah.
What do you plan on majoring in?
I'm still kind of iffy about it, but yeah, I'll major in biology so I can move forward to like physical therapy, somewhere in that route.
Okay. Kaelynn?
Well, currently, I still don't know where I'm gonna go, because I've had some offers to go run, but for cross country. And I just talked to some coaches like a while like earlier today. But I still I'm still seeing which is better. You get me?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And I want to pursue a career in athletic training. That's what I feel like doing.
Can you share with us maybe on some schools that you're looking at, or is that still kind of like hush hush?
Well, I mean, yeah. There's this school in Kansas. You talked to the coach earlier.
Oh yeah, Coach Noe Hernandez.
Yes. Yeah, I talked to him a couple of days ago. Well, he's one of them over there.
Okay.
And then earlier today, I talked to what's his name? Coach. I can't even pronounce his name.
That's
I
okay.
don't know, but it's in Abilene. In
Uh-huh.
Abilene, there in a junior college.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever, Selene, we didn't see it until late, but we would have loved to have had your signing here on Real Sports Live. But by the time we saw it, you had already announced it, and you guys had made a flyer and had already announced everything. So I was like, we just missed it. But Kaelynn, if you do happen to sign for cross country, just get a hold of us, and we'd love to have your signing on here as well.
Yeah.
Kristyn,
Definitely.
you definitely. Kristyn, how about you? What are your college plans?
I'm going to be attending Texas A&M University at College Station. I have an older sister there right now, so she's going to guide me through and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Have you been at College Station yet, or?
Yes, we usually go up for football games because that's obviously the big thing over there. So we go up, and yeah, I'm just really excited to experience that.
Definitely. My dad's from Bryan, College Station. So I have family there in College Station, and my grandma lives in Somerville. So we're all Texas A&M people here at the house. Have you been? The big question is, have you been to Lane's?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because Lane's is like the godfather of chicken strips. And it's better than Cane's. Better than Cane's.
That's what I heard, that it's better than Cane's.
I'll let you decide. And if you girls are ever in College Station, I suggest you go by Lane's, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's really good. But that's cool. I'm glad you guys are all able to kind of figure out what you guys are doing moving forward. Before we wrap up, any shout outs you guys want to give to family or friends?
I guess all my family for being my biggest support system in my life and in my softball career. My dad and my brother specifically, they'd go out of their ways to make sure that I was getting the reps in that I needed for softball and supporting me, and my mom and my two sisters for just always supporting me.
Definitely. Anybody else?
I would say
Shout out to my family, my parents especially, for doing everything they can by supporting me, to taking me to like the out of town tournaments that we did in the summer. And then shout out to my brothers, my 3 older brothers, for always supporting me, always telling me to do my best and stuff like that.
Okay, just shout out to my whole family, my mom, my dad, and my sisters for always supporting me and pushing me to do better, and for waking up early for tournaments and taking me to camps and showcases, because it's not easy, and it costs a lot of money, and I'm thankful for that. So
Yeah, shout out to my family and my parents for, being there through the ups and downs, being there through it all. My brother for still supporting me, even though not being here, he'll go to all of my out of town games, the ones that he can. And shout out to all the Zapata community, for always being there supporting us through the bad games, the good games, everything.
And I think a big shout out to our coaches. So Coach Garcia and Coach Martinez. They put up with us for 4 years, and I mean, they were there to see it all with us. So I think they just played a huge factor in this, and coaching us up, being there too for the highs and the lows, and just always pushing us to do the best that we can.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that about wraps up our show here. Once again, the Zapata seniors, Zapata Lady Hawks, Cassandra Pena, Selene Garza, Kaelynn Gonzalez, and Kristyn Ramirez. Thank you all for joining us here on the show, guys. It was great.
Thank you for
For
having
having
me.
So
us.
much. Thank you
So-
for having us.
So we will be back later in about 30 minutes at 6 o'clock for Adrian Garza's virtual signing. He's from Edinburgh High. He's going to be going to Southwestern University. So we'll have that on later for you today. So again, guys, stay home, stay healthy, stay safe, and soon everything will go back to normal and we'll be able to be out of quarantine.
Hopefully.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.